So in this video, we're going to talk about NIO and their deliveries for January, which they announced this past weekend. They delivered 13,863 cars in January. That was down 55% from December. However, it was still up year over year, 38%. Now, this is the hourly chart, and you can see that on the opening on Monday, price gap down. However, only to close the gap. So this gap down was due to tariff news over the weekend going into Sunday night. However, those tariff discussions are being worked out between the US, Mexico, Canada, and the likes of it, China, and thus price rose for the day and closed that gap. Now, all this price action that you see to the left happens to be this price action in this weekly chart. However, one thing to note, as price continues to just hang out and base, it opens the door for price to continue to move lower in seek of finding more unfilled buy orders. And that's never a good thing, right? If I just move this basing range bound price action to the left, you can see price broke out to the downside, and now price is struggling even to get back in this range. Now, before we continue with the analysis, let's actually get into the delivery news. So deliveries fell last month from December as both NIO main brand and sub brand ONVO weakened as China celebrated the New Year holiday. Again, they delivered roughly 14,000 vehicles. That was up 30% from 10,000 vehicles in the same month last year. Now, the NIO main brand delivered 8,000 vehicles in January, again down 21% from the 10,000 in the same month last year. And that was down 62% from 20,600 in December. And as you can see from the monthly deliveries, you had a stark drop in January. Again, NIO brand monthly deliveries, huge steep drop. NIO brand also sells, this is the ONVO brand, again another decline. They delivered 5,912 units in January, and that was down 44%. To date, NIO has delivered a total of 685,000 vehicles, including 58,000 units under the NIO main brand and 26,000 units under ONVO, according to data compiled by CNEV Post. Again, you'd like to see the uptrend, but recent price action or delivery action points down. So in Chinese auto market, the beginning of the year, especially the month in which the Chinese New Year holiday falls, is usually the low point for deliveries, while the end of the year is usually the high point. So that explains the dip. This year, the Chinese New Year holiday is from January 28th to February 4th. In what may be response to the seasonal weakness at the beginning of the year, NIO announced earlier today that customers who pay a deposit on NIO branded models between February 1st to the 28th can take advantage of the 5-year 0% interest financing. Who doesn't like that? NIO's major local peers announced mixed January deliveries as well. That's Li Auto, XPeng, and Leap Motors. Alright, so getting back to the charts. As I mentioned, the longer price stays, it's going to seek and destroy and fill those remaining unfilled orders. Now, I was anticipating some type of W pattern in the form of a double bottom, sort of like we had back in August when this zone was formed. You had this drop in price, basic candles, and look at that huge rally out. However, I'm going to take this off now, and I'm going to drill down to the 4-hour chart. And I don't like this. If you look somewhat closely, this has the makings of a bear flag. And rightfully so. Again, as I mentioned, the longer price just lingers, it's going to drift down. So where might be the next best levels to get long? You do have a little doji candle at about 390. However, there's no volume. And so what you want to see on a smaller time frame, we're going to be looking for some type of W pattern on the 4-hour chart. Again, it's not a buy yet. However, if you are in it for the long run, you can buy now. You can scale in because price is pretty much at an accumulation level relative to the last time we had this massive macro W pattern and price shot up to $60. Let me know what you think. Is NIO a buy, sell, or hold? Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Please like the video.